thank you. Yes, today is a special Monday. I am dedicating this month to the country Zambia. We are celebrating independence in a few days, 61 years. We have a National Day of Prayer coming up, and there's so much going on in the country. We have our 7th Republican president lying there in a morgue in South Africa, not yet buried, and we are continuing business as usual. It's tough. It is tough. We are living in challenging times. It's actually emotional for me. The story, the demise of Edgar Chagwa and how his body has been held captive there in South Africa is a really sad situation that is going on for our country. Even if we don't talk about it, it's really, really sad. So we continue praying for the Lungu family, that Lord, you will have your way. Let them get the victory they deserve so they can bury their loved one wherever they wish. What is happening is abnormal. We are going to 5 months without the burial of ECL, and it is becoming normal, but it should not be normal. We have to talk about this problem that we have in a country. It's a big problem. ECL lies there in a morgue in South Africa without being buried, and we are continuing business as usual. It's unfortunate, but we continue praying that Lord may make a way. May God make a way in the issue, the impasse, the lack of burial, which is a taboo. The lack of burial of anyone, it has never happened in Zambia. So it is a taboo. We are living in strange times. So we continue to pray that Lord may make a way. Coming to the topics today, we saw Mondolo yesterday on Emmanuel Mwamba Verified. Let me just get my paper so I can stay on track and stay focused. So the topics we are talking about is Mondolo. He was live yesterday on EMV show. So we talk about, I think we'll talk about Mondolo last. So the Mondolo subject, we'll talk about it last. First topic, I want to talk about the voter registration. So we talk about voter registration, and then we'll talk about HH saying he's the only one who's winning. All his MPs, councillors are losing. So HH says he's winning. We talk about Bill 7. Bill 7 is a big one, guys. Bill 7 is a big one. We just saw the president swear in the technical committee. So I have written a letter to the technical committee. You can read it, it's there on my page. So I've written a letter to the technical committee regarding Bill 7. I'll try to read part of it, but you can read it on my page. So, voter registration, HH says is winning. Bill 7. Munsha has been transferred. So, we'll talk about Munsha. Elias Munsha has been moved from the Australian post to Angola. We'll talk about that. And then lastly, we'll talk about Mondolo. Mondolo. And then we can open the phone lines and you can come in and discuss whatever you want, contribute on any of the topics or whatever is going on in the country. So you are welcome, guys. Please share, invite people. These are important times. We have actually started the week with the massive voter registration. So you need to share this information, share this video, or talk about these things so that people are aware of what is going on. So the first topic here I'm talking about is voter registration. So ECZ kicked off voter registration, massive voter registration, but there are problems regarding this massive voter registration. One of the problems regarding this massive voter registration is a lack of communication. A lot of people have inboxed me that just hold on. It's windy. La window. There's some wind, yeah. So I just closed the window. Anyway, so yeah. So we were talking about the voter registration. So the voter registration was kicked off online September 15th. So on September 15th, the ECZ kicked off online voter registration. And I went on the ECZ website. There was a notice on September 15 that it had started, and then another notice last week in October. So again, the worry is the lack of information, circulating information throughout the country to make voters aware that the voter registration is happening. It happened for online, it started September 15, and it will close, when is it closing? I have it right here. So for online, it's supposed to close pretty soon. Let me see the date. Yeah. So you people, make sure your families know. For the regular voting, it started today. For regular voting is October 13 to November 11, just barely a month. Can you imagine? So they have just given 1 month for regular voting, 1 month. And then for online, they gave more time for online. So I have a problem with this, guys. I have a problem. So for online, they started September 15th. September 15th, and they're ending in October. And November 3rd. Yeah, they're ending November 3rd. For online. So this is the problem, guys. So by ECZ, they kicked off online registration September 15 and it's ending November 3rd. The massive one in person, they started today up to November 11. Now, I have received a lot of people coming to complain, to say, Madam, talk about that a lot of people in the villages, they don't know about this massive voter registration. So this means that if people are not aware, if ECZ did not do due diligence in notifying people on radio stations, on TVs, yeah, when I was growing up, when there was voter registration, they even used to have people, that time I'm a Land Rover. The ECZ would have Land Rovers going muma komboni kulaiba abantu pama speaker lembeshe nukuya mkuvota. Has ECZ done that? There are CDF vehicles which ECZ, they can work, CDF vehicles can work in conjunction with ECZ, going around the communities using a loudspeaker, ukulaeba abantu kalembesheni mukuvota. So this is a problem that we are having, is the information. ECZ is not doing due diligence to tell Zambians to go and vote. I have a lot of messages in my inbox, so as a result, if many people don't know when to go and register to vote, that is voter suppression. So, by ECZ, you have to extend this period and make sure you go mumushi. You can't be using, they are posting on their election ECZ website, Vale poster. But how many people are on the grid? How many people are online? In Zambia, it's a small percentage of people, who less than 50% of the population have smartphone or access to internet. But they gave a longer period of registration for online when they know that most of the people in Zambia, they don't have a smartphone. So this is a problem, guys. It is a problem because they gave from September, October, November, 6 weeks for online registration when they know that a minimum population is online. Abantu apamapa online ba no kuchira abantu abakwe bati bakayafye mukuvota from PayPal. So we are here to ask by ECZ, why are you giving more? Why did you give more time for people to go and vote, to register to vote online than in person? So in person mwapela fye 4 weeks, elo online mwapela kashinga ni 6 weeks. Again, the voter sensitization is minimal. So this is equivalent to disenfranchising voters, voter suppression. Sorry, not depression. It is equivalent to voter suppression. And on top of this, we hear that, it is true. I think niba Jack Mwimbo bali abayishire mu parliament, bali bepwisha okwebati. How come kumbi kuma regions yambi mwali ambo kulembesha abantu kuvota kale sometime last year? I think niba Jack Mwimbo, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jack Mwimbo said they started registering voters earlier in their strongholds because in PF they didn't register the voters. Mwamona, I think one of these ministers came online. Correct me if I'm wrong. One of these UPND ministers, why are you doing voter registration in some parts of the country and other parts you are not? So in some parts of the country, voters. Some parts of the country, voters. And then now they have opened it. So all these 4 years, some parts of the country, in their stronghold, they have been registering voters. But then, in some parts of the country, where there is opposition, they have not been registering voters. On top of that, in opposition strongholds, there are problems in registering voters. There is shortage of materials to print NRCs. So there is a problem. We have a problem because one of the requirements to register as a voter, you need to have the NRC. Now, a lot of these centers where our people go to get NRCs, there are problems. Some of the NRCs, they have been printed wrongly, nayakwatama errors. So if these NRCs have errors and not matching with the voter's card, people will be suppressed. It's like people will be not there. It's like a way of not allowing people to vote is cheating. What they are doing is cheating. Okay? So we hear the president giving in a leaked statement, to Ali Mona statement, here president, Varefokula Pela, 600,000 a month to ministers to campaign. But we have problems in supplies for simple things. You print for NRC material ile shorter. So I material ile shorter. Chilela ngokwe bati. Abantu bakakwata ama problem. Ukuya mkupoka ama voters card. Ingama NRC tabakwete. Because you need the NRC. Pakwe batu ya mkupoka voters card. Ulaifa garage. Umuntu oliyoza pakuya mkulembesha voters card. Afuya na regi. Nomba kuliyoko baleko pama regi. Takuri ifya kukopera. Limbi pepa na ipwa. Limbi katuishi na fipwa. Yotu amkufaya ma supplies. I'm like, oh my God, you people, are we serious? Kuiba ma vote bale milolesha. They are stealing from your vote from mulelolesha. Bale mibira election. Election bale rigginga. Tabale iba ma vote but bale rigginga election. Mulelolesha because abandunga tabako itama NRC. Tabakaye mkulembesha ma voters card. So what I'm saying here is, I am appealing to Ababa ECZ to extend the voter registration period until they sort out the shortages of supplies to print these NRSs. Pantu abantu tabalepoka marriage kuri ama problem kuri okukulembesha marriage ero kulifya kurufyanya no mange kulifya kurufyanya abantu tabalepoka marriage baka bonfiensha abantu pakuya mkulembesha okuvota so mulefa yabantu beka vota abantu nga bayamkulembesha regi nga bafika kulya babomba fepa nono achiyo amapepala yapwa yo machine naifwa so imwe mulefa yabantu beka vota pakuta mulechita print ama NRC yabantu. Meanwhile mu parliament ba minister kashingani ba Jack Mwimbu abalandiri ati ubuteko bwali ambakali yokulembesha bambi kunchende shirya esho roba PF roba mu buteko tabalele mbesha ama voters kunchende shimbi. So by UPND from 2022 balale mbesha ama voters. That's why ngamamona register ya ku ECZ kunchende shimbi, especially southern province, kwali ba 80,000 new registered voters. Number bafikile shani pali 80,000 new registered voters when the official registration is starting today for a month. So we are appealing to ECZ to extend this period and solve all the problems they have with the Ministry of Home Affairs, national registration, to make sure that they have all the supplies they need to print NRCs for people so that abantu tubayamkulembesha mkuvota. Tayakabe election ya kwebati, kunchende shimbi, what kind of a race is it? It's cheating. Inga mwambo kubutuko olubiro, umbi bamupera 10 minutes abutuka. After mnobe na ambakari olubiro, abale butuka for 10 minutes, ero iweati na iweamba. That is cheating. If you are running a race which is fair, you are all supposed to start at the same time. So, registration of voters is supposed to start at the same time in the entire country. We can't have regions in the country where they started registering voters in 2022 and other regions, they are just starting now and they have problems obtaining ama NRC. Chimashini na chifwa, ama paper na yapwa. All kinds of excuses, and the minister even validated ukwebati inchende shidia shimbi bali ambeka lokuchita register ama voters elo baishirefe mu buteko ba UPND because inchende shimbi ba PF tabale chita register abantu, and we know that is true because ku southern province kwali ba 80,000 new registered voters, which is connected to the limitation ile isa bill 7. So now I come to my second topic of Bill 7. Mwebantu bakwalesa. We say no to Bill 7. And today in Dembenkalata, I have written a letter to the honorable, distinguished ladies and gentlemen who have been appointed to this Bill 7 Technical Committee. That is what it is being called. So, I wrote a letter to these people because as I was waking up today, I just had it on my heart to say, how can I talk to these people who were appointed to start working on the Bill 7 at the 11th hour? Mamona. So, but now actually, the president appointed a technical committee at the 11th hour. We are 10 months to the election, and the president has appointed a technical committee to look into passing the Bill 7. Now, we know that Bill 7 is a critical tool for UPND to win the 2026 election, because UPND knows that they have lost popularity and there is no way they are going to win a free and fair election. Even the president himself, I'll play the audio where he's talking about he's the only one who's going to win. All the MPs, councillors, ward chairmen will lose. So they are desperate. But their desperation is leading them to cheating and passing a Bill 10, and if it is passed, it will be against the laws of Zambia. To be blunt, without mincing our words, if Bill 7 is passed, it will be a criminal law. So, I wrote a letter to these ladies and gentlemen who have been appointed to this technical committee. Here they are. If you can, here they are. These are the men. These are the pictures when they were being sworn in. These are the pictures of the technical committee as they were sworn in last week. Technical committee for Bill 7. So I just want to say that, you know, Bill 7 is an illegal bill and it is going to erode our democracy and bring an authoritarian rule. So this is cheating, guys. All the proposals in Bill 7, they didn't come from the Zambian people. They came from UPND. UPND sat there and made the proposals, and the Bill 7 basically is how to rig an election and how to consolidate power for any government. It's like Museveni formula. But we continue talking about this because it's important. So the Bill 7 will remove the term limit of the president. So it will mean that the president, HH, could rule until he dies. They are trying to eliminate corruption charges against the president. So again, the president wants to make himself untouchable, and he wants the law not to follow him. I was watching at the weekend the president again. He was saying, if you commit a crime, you are on your own. But then he wants to change the constitution so that the law doesn't follow him. How unfair is that, Mr. President? You are telling the people that if you commit a crime, you are on their own, but you want to change a law to protect yourself from legal charges. You know, the president always says if you commit a crime, you're on your own. Look at what happened to Elias Musha. Instead of Elias Musha being fired, he has just been moved. Mary Banana, what happened to Mary Banana? She was just moved. There is another woman who was in another sex scandal in South Africa. So bahaka inde, we are tired of your lip service, sir. President bahaka inde, we are tired of your lip service because mulanda fie, if you commit a crime, you're on your own. You have never fired anyone except Gary Nkombo. But there are so many crimes happening under your nose. Bahaka Inde, you are just watching. So many crimes are happening. Bahaka Inde, you haven't fired anyone. And you continue saying, if you commit a crime, you're on your own. Stop mocking us. We are tired of the lies, excuse my language, for lack of a better word. We are tired of the president saying you are on your own, but he has not fired anyone in this entire government. Even Munsha, for heaven's sake, who is a priest, a man of God, a husband, a diplomat. Kuriaku Australia, there have been scandal after scandal. Until the last scandal where the picture, the nudes, pictures of his nudes leaked, now they are moving him to Angola. So stop it, my president. Stop it. That's why I am very spiritual today. I'm in a spiritual mode. That's why beginning this show, I played the Zambia Army song to remind the Zambia Army that at this point, Zambia po ifikile, to remove Bahaka in power, the defense forces need to be independent. Bahaka Inde need to accept the results of the election which will be coming in 2026 because he knows. He said it himself, Mukanwa mumwa Bahaka Inde okwebati. Bonse bakalusa except Bena. But even him, he's going to lose this election. That's why they are hell-bent on passing the Bill 7, and he swore in that technical committee. Now, my message to this technical committee is that message or advice to the technical committee, if I were you people who were sworn in to help pass this illegal law, I would resign. Technical committee, I cannot accept that appointment because you are going to be charged. If that law passes, you are going jointly to be charged because that law should be dead. It didn't come from Zambians. It has been rejected by the church, Zambia Congress of Catholic Bishops. It has been rejected by the Concord. It has been rejected by Law Association of Zambia. And the time is too short. You cannot change the rules of the game in the 11th hour. It's cheating. We are on the horizon. The election is on the horizon. Election na ifikana inunkila. And you people, by UPND, if you won 2021 using this same constitution, if you didn't cheat, then why are you scared to go to the election with this same constitution that we have? So, my advice is plain and simple. I've written a letter to these people, the distinguished men and women who have been sworn in to make sure this Bill 7 passes. My advice is Fumenimo, because you are going to be jointly charged. If this bill passes, it will be an illegal law. It will be an illegal law. So if you have a friend of those people, and if you know a relative who is on that technical committee, basambe mofye banyantuke mofye takwa wokchinja constitution 10 months before an election. We have no time. And the changes they want to make, they are changes to consolidate power. They are changes to put Hakainde as an authoritarian president. And we need a referendum. Whatever they are asking to change cannot be changed via a technical committee. It needs to go to a referendum so that all the Zambians vote. In fact, it is rejected because it didn't come from the Zambians. It comes from him. It comes from Hakainde. Actually, as the time is going, more and more is being revealed. Because Hakainde Bale Kalipira Obama MPs Babo. Yeah? Remember the statement that leaked last week? Hakainde Bale Kalipira ma MPs Babo. I think we want somebody against Bill 7 will deal with you strongly. So it is confirmation that Bill 7 wairemba niba Hakainde Veka. Mwamona. So, in technical committee, how can you support the wish of one man to be a dictator in Zambia? This is my question. Because as time is going, now the truth has come out to say that Bill 7, the one who cooked up that Bill 7, is Hakainde Avene, because last week Bale Kalipilama MPs ukwebatu ushaka vote pari Bill 7, I'll deal with him. Elo shide ifaya Bill 7 alande ya papeni. So nomba, usheni Zambia yaba Hakainde paktu Hakainde bale buka vibapanga Bill 7. And forcing this Bill 7 on our throat. Imo mwema MPs wa Muzambia, mukaleto lwa isula Muzambi. That's why lero, I'm just like emotional and playing the Zambia Army song. Because this is our last hope in Zambia. Our last hope in Zambia is the defense forces. And let me take a break and play that song and I will be back. Because now, HH has exposed himself. HH has exposed himself by kukalipilama ministers babo. Atini ngufuati bambi, tamulefaya na nikane. So, usha have voted Bill 7, I'll deal with them. So abene na bayulula. Abene ba HH na bayulula ukwebati he is the author and the masterminder of Bill 7. By HH na bayulula abene, he has exposed himself in that leaked meeting where he was telling ibale kalipilama ministers or what niba baby. So which means nama ministers ba whatever ilembere Bill 7. By HH ba ikelebeka kuja community house. But that draft consider Bill 7, but number by patikishe on our throat. Eh? So my message to you is, imoba technical committee, muke sapira mwefata muishive, I'm firing a warning shot kuno. Because sometimes you can be blinded. You can be blinded, you don't see the truth. But if we have been following this topic closely, Iridia Shidia Bill 7, some of us have been following it closely to a point now where the president is self-confessing. What he's saying is tying him directly to that Bill 7 that is the author. He's the masterminder of that Bill 7 so he can stay in power. So, once your muntu ka support a plan yaba Hakainde to stay in power paka 2090, then never the chickens will be coming to roost. Let me just play this song and take a break. Ba Zambia Army tulipama kufi. Ba Zambia Police tulipama kufi. We do not want you to be ignorant about the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. For if you believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep in Jesus. For this we say to you by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord will not precede those who are fallen asleep. For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel and the trumpet of God. And the dead in Christ will rise first. Rise and shine, rise and shine. Zambia. What's the matter? Hi, Chichi girl. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. So we are talking about Bill 7. We are talking about Constitutional Court. And sorry, I'm trying to put the volume up. Okay, sorry. Hi, Chichi girl. Yeah, so we are talking about the Bill 7, the technical committee which has been appointed, and the revelations which have come in the last few days, where the president Bale Sokama MPs ukweba ati bambita mlefaya Bill 7 ero shilefaya Bill 7 alande ero bonse. I expect you to support Bill 7. No mbanga chakweba ati ama MPs eba lefaya Bill 7. Ba president uchibale sokashani ama MPs ukweba ati onse omuntu afila isupporta. So again, the truth has been revealed. Revelation. Lesana tulango ukweba ati bahaka inde ya Bill 7 bairembelebeka. That's why he's number bambo kula kalipida ama ministers babo nama MPs babo for support. Bayambo kula ba promise ama MPs impie shingi kwebati for campaign. In other words, ni hash money ya bareba pera. Ero mpia shiresho abachire promise ni mpia shingi sana. 600,000 kwachas is like 30,000, around 30,000 US dollars. Na kunwaba kwa ama CEOs of big multi-million dollar companies ba no for like 30,000 US dollars a month. So for the president to promise ama MPs 30,000 US dollars a month in a meeting where he's talking about Bill 7, chimono kwebati balevo ni hash money balefwa yokubosha ba minister was supposed to vote Bill 7. But mwema ministers, don't sell your country. Bill 7 nikakaka na imwewe ne mukakakwa. Ero mwema ministers na mwema MPs ba UPND mwari mofo ba president. Bale landa bene news on the ground is takuri wa UPND ukapita, including ba president bene. Tabakapite in a free and fair election. Tabakapite. That's why now cause la pali Bill 7 ukushita increase ama constituencies kuya koko kuma stronghold yabo nama ministers over halashta point. This Bill 7 will bring in about 100 new members of parliament, and once those 100 new members of parliament come in, ba UPND baka kwata 2/3 majority in the parliament. So he will run ba haka inde baka la tungulula Zambia kwat ni private company yabo. If you bale fire power, iya kula tungulula Zambia kwat chalo chabo. That's why na mailo bale landa na nomba inenga na mu parliament nkala tungulula shani chalo because bakala nkanina. Awe ba HH bakala mikanina ngatafiro ndorweke. Ifiro leleme bakala asumina. The whole purpose of a National Assembly is to offer checks and balances and to make sure that the decisions that are made are in the interest of everyone, not in the interest of one person. So, for example, Bahaka Indenga Baba president with a majority in opposition, if into fikala asela, because tabakula pshafye fintu, in the interest of bahaka inde if you pishe bill 7 na thimbi thingi if you pisha cyber law na agriculture law and many laws over le fokula pisha mwamona. That's why if you ngokula poka abantu ba parliamentary seats because vale for quarter 2/3 majority. So apanombanga pisha bill 7 tulabe kona election ya 2026 ikabathe rubber stamp. So inepanonjishire muku chita advise ba technical committee badiabo bale chita swear in kudia kwebati hold your integrity and stand for the Zambia. Do not be used to do people's dirty work. Do refuse to do dirty work here by forcing the bill 7 on the Zambians, and it is in black and white now that information ile leaking okwebati ba president wale kalipira abantu babo to support bill 7. So nga wale kalipira abantu babo ma MPs. If he is scolding the lawmakers to sign bill 7, then who generated walembere bill 7 ni nani? The answer is simple. Niba president wene eba lembere bill 7. That's why he's pushing for it. Now this bill is an authoritarian rule. It will take away democracy from Zambia. That's why in Epanon, my last hope now is in the defense forces in Zambia. The men and women in Zambia ebe ke mama voting ba pona. We are praying that our men and women in Zambia shall stand with the constitution, because judiciary bali tualishwaka the judiciary judge aliyamokale the same judiciary mubi useveni bale fo ama judge kula pingula fiemina ndukwa bula public hearing mwamona. So bale ma secret judge bali bo bale chita interview no kuba chita appoint enchito yabo. So abantu was everything is lined up to make Zambia into a company yabaya kainde. Nama judge wonse bali sala kale secretly bali sala ma judge bali watana appointi abanomba mu bill 7 bana bakwatana ma instructions ama cases yakala yakuli bena bakala beba nefya kupingula. So takwakabe hearing mwebena Zambia tuli mubu afya. This bill 7 must go. It must never see the corridors of the National Assembly. And me, I am warning, I don't know, maybe advising this technical committee. Mukaisanga muma problems mukesaka kwa. Mweba technical committee. Because iinga mwaipisha law bill 7 it will be an illegal law. And I think I'll end here. We'll talk about Mondolo as a last topic. So, my chichi girl, if you want to come in, you can come in.
Madam President, tell much time about bueno. Malanda kona mchitonga na mchilozi, so that my cousins from the Loziland bounce for. Madam.
Lekeni mweke shepo kanshi. Munji opon shilalaba. Lekeni ndande mumuchitundu. Yes.
Okay.
So, ndambat mewosu ndabola no wamba magani ya bill 7 gutegwa ba echechi last week bali kuyita swear in a committee ya bill 7 gutegwa abantu bali 30 bagabe bagende all over Zambia kubuhama submissions kuyita support bill 7. Ino bill 7 ila ni bill ibi abi maningi ni bill ibi kambo bill 7 ya winda ya kupa ba president ya kuguya term limit, meaning ba president ba president wa muyaya tabagazu ya bu president jimuchewa anda kuchincha mu bill 7 ihulumende taigajite dissolve 3 months before election. Ihulumende yabahaga inde yakuba in power until a day before my election. So mewano chindabolera kugomba babalombwana abaga into onse mbubabika mu committee wambati batami belehi kujita nani madeti wekyabo kambo yabanda kujita kujisi into hivi abi maningi mwabona. bamunya ba presidents bakainde. Last week what is with the memo yali wambati bali mu meeting abantu babo kubali kwambira ma ministers ama MP baba UPND bonse kubali kuba kwentera tetegwa onse MP onse minister weredde ku voter bill 7 yakunjira mu parliament. So ino tubabuye kwambati now a bill 7 natai ma ministers abakaileta kutegwa ile nturo na wakaileta ngwani kambona ninga ma ministers ama MPs bazuminiana ba president kuti i bill 7 nibotu na ninga ba president ngatabagoyi kukwentera ma ministers kuti mugayisaini. So chemune yati twambira kutegwa ba president mbeba ipanga ile bill 7 barike kambona ati baipanga barike bose naninga barazuminiya wewate katusaina pesi baraindana barindeni ama ministers babo bamwe tabayiyandi bill 7 momunyamuya mu meeting ba president twaho ategwa ba promise aba ministers mali manji maningi kutegwa minister MP onse bayawumupa 600,000 kwacha a month ino ayo mali muma dollar ngu $30,000 mali manji maningi njoba anda kupa minister a MP uwa mu UPND to campaign. So no bantu mangani ngaya so mebondalikede ndayana momunya mu meeting balaba kwentera ategwa bonse onse minister werede ku supporta bill 7 mu meeting ye same meeting yomwe baba promise ya mali banji baba la ya mali kutegwa cha kumupa ma 600,000 ino mebondakala ansinda yeya pemunya ndayijana answer abadala bayanda kutegwa kubalipira abama MPs babokata mulomo gutegwa iya bill ya unjira mu parliament bagayisaini umuzezo wangu basa ndiye ade henda mbano hendi yeya yambi kuti mbuja bede olombuja achani andinywe ngamwamba mbomu yede mbomu jibona namo wamagani muntu onse jiri ati mama atishani. The laws of Zambia allow us to share our opinion. So my opinion over this matter of the bill 7 magandi alibone ya wamba che bill 7 oga ipanga mbaye che chimbe munya bayipanga barike kambona bayipanga ma ministers babo ni bayisaina kali ali munito awu magandi ayo akutegwa bali mu meeting omuya kukwentera ma minister kutegwa ngamusaini. So ngabanga nayo ali munde ndipumone bachichi ndiramba muchirozi after mwambaula.
That's why you're my Bemba, eh? You're my Bemba. you speak eloquently in Bemba.
I can't.
Swag. I understand. Yeah, madam, you really explained the matter very well, especially the way you explained in Bemba, because I was able to understand and all that. It reaches the masses who are down there who don't understand. I think for me, because people don't understand the content of that bill 7, that's why it can even cut. And then we've got people who are like technocrats who are not paying attention to that. They have not even read the document. We've got this culture of not reading the document to understand what the document is saying. Because the way the president is coming out, it's not right. People have spoken, and he comes and says he doesn't care about what the Catholics have said. He doesn't care about what Lazarus said. He doesn't care what you yourself, Madam President, who's been a champion of this. I wish somebody can give you an award because you've really done a great job to try to elaborate this matter in very simple terms, and you even produce flyers to show people, to say, you people who don't want to read the document, these are the simple things that you need to understand. You've done a great job. Fight hard so that somebody can give you an award on that. You are a great person.
God is going to give me an award. Yeah.
You are an asset to our country because you've really done a great job on this matter. The only thing is we are very few of us who are really speaking to make sure that this Bill 7 does not go through. You know, because imagine even the issue that I was saying to say, actually, the Bill 7 is not even going to take months. And the things that we are going to discuss, the things are not even contentious. Cornelius, can you tell the Zambians that there are no contentious issues?
Wamuyaya is not contentious imwe. Vale fichita bill why?
Yes.
Making HH Wamuyaya president, removing the limit term on presidential candidate is not contentious.
Imagine.
No.
You know? And then on top of that, you are saying those things, but you've run a technical committee who are supposed to go and get submissions from the Zambians. So the submissions that the Zambians are going to give us, how do you know that those submissions will not be contentious? And this is where the point of where we should say by UPND we can't trust them, because how do you know that the things that will come from there are not going to be contentious? My submission and this person's submission from all over the country, when we put those things to consolidate those and come up with a language that should fit into law, and you say it will not take us months, it means you are playing us to say this technical committee that you have drawn, it will be a rubber stamp of whatever is there in Bill 7. That's what we are going to conclude. And we don't want that, because that one we've already refused it to say, this one, no. So they're starting the whole process from the word go. So you can't tell us to say the things will not be contentious. How do you know they will not be contentious? And how can you tell us? We don't even know the terms of reference for that technical committee. We don't know. We need to know the terms of reference, because that's why we are saying, how long will it take them? We are only remain with 9 months into election, or is it 10 months into elections? So how can they work to make sure that they bring in submission from the Zambian people? This is why we are saying they want to play us and use that committee as a technical, as a rubber stamp. They might not even go to get anything. They'll just say, look through whatever we have and come up with you and say, these are the submission. And maybe sneak 1 or 2 things that they think should be added there and say, this is what has come out. We need to interrogate that document. This is not a document for play, because you want to change to suit you. Another person comes after 5 years to come and change and suit you. No, this is what people are saying. No, we want something that will stand a test of time. That's why we're saying, let's give it a bit of time, because there are a lot of issues that will say, lacuna, like whatever, other things. If that was, let's give it a bit of time. Interrogate the issues which we feel are contentious, and not to rush the document. Okay? And you know, madam, just like you have said, the president even says, why we are saying all these things, why you are even saying that the judiciary is one institution which we all now have come to understand why we can say it is compromised. If the president can say, me, I'm a chief spy. Chief spy, okay, what did you do? I called the president I think I called South Africa. It can only be his level that you can call, which means it's a president of that other country. You understand? You can't call somebody to get whatever. No. If that's what he did, then he reduced his level to small boys. His level is the president of South Africa, meaning he called South Africa, he called the Turkey president, he called, I don't know which other country mentioned to say, I called this. For him to do what? To make sure that this Marangi issues are exposed. And you, as the president, you are saying that it means you are the DPP. Okay?
There is no separation of power, my dear. He just confirmed that the president is the judge, the juror, and everything. He's the prosecutor. He's controlling everything. Yes.
Yes. And that that statement, Mr. President, exposes you.
He's incriminating himself. All that is evidence against him.
Yes.
It is incriminating himself. How can a president be involved in investigations? Where is the separation of power? Eh?
Imagine.
He's supposed to be running the country and not doing the work of ACC and DEC.
That's why we can have a president who is the DPP, a president who is the...
He is a dictator. So Fidabala president is a dictator because we have the ACC, the DEC, they are supposed to investigate. So our president he's a dictator. And he has confirmed it. And that evidence will be used against him when the time comes.
Yeah. So you are the investigator, you are the DPP, you are the investigator from DEC, you are the investigator from SEC, you are the investigator from the police side. Everything, you are the investigator.
They are political cases. Yeah. And we are going to dismiss all these cases when he comes into power. We are going to dismiss the cases and appoint new judges who are going to do an biased justice. Because mulefyenga abantu.
He is the investigator. He's also the witness. Because for you want to, just what you believe in to be the real issue.
Oh, my sister, tuipuishanisha mubebe fiati. Baaka inde. Once abantu mwakaka, you confessed. You are meddling. Na JJ Banda. Remember now, even JJ Banda. He came to say something about JJ Banda. The next thing JJ fiance fiari pilibuka. So apatu tuilanda nefing let us take notes. The president has incriminated himself because he's meddling in affairs of ACC and DEC. He should concentrate on running the country. When did he train? To investigate, you need training. Does he know that not anyone can do all these things? That's why Baleka Kawantu. This is political persecution.
Madam, that's why we can have issues of why me, where they say no, they have to change the charge sheet. Because him being the investigator, the judge...
Instead yakula tungulule chalwalero tokula pere milandu.
So all those issues, we cannot really entertain such kind of whatever. No, let him show that which he told us to say is going to rule the country by respecting the constitution, by respecting democracy, by respecting the...
He wants, my dear. Baba Chichi, Leken Wadasin Walandi, I know he's at work. This man will never respect the constitution. Go ahead, Wadasin.
Thank you, Comm. Yesterday I was text Nale former president and Ine Amakayali. Number one, if you could see what he was trying to say, I want to know who gave Malanji the plane. At that point I was like, but Bamdala. So then Ali ECO number ECO but you want to talk about it. And for me, I look at it to say, there were quite some advisors Kulanda, but all he does is he shoots himself in the foot. Because you as the president, it's not your job to start calling other presidents so that you want to know what is this. I wish you could have said, you could save so much time also to call other presidents how they are managing to run their economy better than ours. If you could spend more time doing that, you and me and many other Zambians will be rooting for him. But he is so petty. Just like my sister Paswa said in our Chichi, he is one who is behind JJ's arrest. He's the one who's behind even if you look at it, even the by-elections that we had, Kulimaranji and even in Dola, he's always the one behind it. What type of a leader do we have? And then, let's not forget, I wish we have all the records when our dear president was before the president promising Zambians, immediately I get into power, within 1 year, I'll end load shedding. he was promising. And he forgets that most of the Zambian people voted him because of those promises. Then yesterday, now because the Komboka ceremony of promises is open, now he's going to think that we are very down and we will not get it. He says he's spending sleepless nights because of load shedding. And I was looking at it to say, my dear president, and this is where Zambians get it wrong or right. We don't hate you. We love you. But we don't like the lies that you tell the Zambian people. So 4 years by president bakateka lelo mungeshi bati load shedding okoyaba, and it's going to make you spend sleepless nights. When you were on the podium in telling Zambians within 1 year I will use the Dubai formula. I think in it, Queen Pumi and everyone that is listening, as much as people think we don't love the president, I think we love him more because we show him to say you are not fit to be the president in 2026 because you're a president of lies. And if you call someone a liar, it's not an insult. We are calling it the way it is. It goes back, look at the way it is, Apapeni. Why would you be calling another president to persecute your marriage? Why can't they go to law? The job of the DPP, then what is your job? Your job as the president of Zambia is to put people together. Thank you.
That's why people are running away mu Zambia. Abantu ama refugee na abafula mu fyalo ko butuka mu fe pantu ba president era prosecutor. Everything has been confirmed. The president is now the court prosecutor. Ba prosecutor ba president we have no number apa nomba mwandini bill 7 nga yapita fye. Bill 7 nga yapita fye mwebena Zambia muyishibire. Ero na tuishiba nomba. Who is the mastermind of Bill 7? Abene bali ilandira yali diking a document choko baleka lipira ma ministers babo. So ama ministers nga bali suminisha nye Bill 7 ilia. Why bengala bakalipira? Vampart, so you can come in. Are you there? Vachichi girl, you want to continue?
Okay. She can continue if she's there.
Yeah.
You can speak up. Yeah.
Go ahead, Vachichi girl.
No, it's okay, Pastor, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Good evening, and for me, long time.
Yes, good evening. Thanks for coming in. Yes.
Chichi girl, good to see you here.
So thank you, Apostle. It's good to see you here as well. Yesterday we had a very fruitful discussion about our place. I liked it. No, thanks very much.
Thanks. To begin with, I think our president has just completely lost it. And if there are people who still believe in him, it's very unfortunate. Because to begin with, there is no way a president will go bring that multitude of people who I doubt if they are all leaders from his party, put them in a building where whoever facilitated the building of it is a thief in his eyes, is a bad person in his eyes, but he was okay to go and gather a lot of people in it safely and go and tick his purported tick boxes that he ticks because he's the only one who is seeing them. He says 1 minute he talks of how he cannot sleep. He's spending sleepless nights because of load shedding.
It's not because of load shedding. He's spending sleepless nights because he has unfinished business. He is the direct reason why Walungu Tatwashi kana numba. Eh?
I know. Then the next minute,
because people are not talking about it. And this is the reason why Tabashi komu nabo ba shikenyu munenu mwalambo kulala.
No, I only hope Abantu, these people who claim to be his sympathizers and follow him, can deliver that message to him. Because no wonder why I'm saying he's completely lost it. That could be one of the reasons as to why whatever he's saying doesn't make sense anymore. It does not build anyone anymore.
Shikenyu munenu ba shikenyu munenu natwa mpapata. tamwakalela lotro takwaba fe because pa bali kabaka kaba isi ona mpanga ndafe ine nani shikaba fyashi wonse bandi wonse. And during that the time of morning takwa yukulala until twashika twasamba bapase chiriro. So baeche shina bena bali kaka fide bakana okushika omunabo na bena bali kaka shikeni omunenu tamwakalale paka mukashiki omunwenu. Make peace and let ECL bury ECL. Takwabo muntu ikara mu fridge. It's not our tradition to be in a fridge for 4 months. No, ku Nigeria ni ntambisha. But Zambia takwabe if you tuli 5 months tamwashi ko munene ro muli anda chilelala mulandu wa malaiti. Mwina tubepo obufi. Tamulelala because tamwashi ko munenu. Go ahead Bampasu. It's annoying.
No, it is really, and it's surprising that people still think we've forgotten that there's that unfinished business. There's a tomb which is open there, and then he comes and he claims he does not. Maybe I'll say hours or whatever before, this person is the same person who comes and says, if you are complaining that things are not okay, and whoever is teaching him this Nyanja now, he's moved from Bemba where he was saying unpalatable, now he's gone to Nyanja now. Are you guys in Zambia? You know? So then you wonder, is our president okay? But that explains, obviously, he's still being tormented by the thing of not burying my ACL. He's still being tormented because he knows how many lives he's actually touched by him not being a good leader. You know, listening to that gathering that he had where he claims it was them discussing their leadership, there was nothing there they were discussing. That was purely, for me, that was purely campaigning. And who are you campaigning to? And who are you campaigning for? He goes there again, as always, he goes to praise himself to say he's the only one. Meaning, someone is telling you that you are nobody, no one is going to vote for all of you except me, and you all clap. Then you wonder, it's like someone is telling you, no one tells you, the president, I don't know what to do with our president, because he's supposed to go with a well-written speech or have an agenda when he goes to talk to people, but it seems he just talks from whatever, whether he hears voices, no one knows. But I think the thing that should still remain constant with ourselves is, what conversations are we having? What are we telling ourselves? The president and his group just has to go. Because our president, he's the only one who wants to be listened to. He's brought in that commission or whatever to go and do the amendment of the constitution. Simply because they've been appointed by himself, there are all possibilities those people are going to say yes to whatever it is, because you can't insult the arm that is feeding you. Those people are going to dance to that mouth that keeps licking himself, you know. They are going to agree with him. If those people that are in that commission are anywhere near this forum, probably you can do better to stand by your grounds. Tell the president we cannot do this because the people of Zambia have said no. What has changed in a few weeks? When the Minister of Justice, Lakasune, went round trying to persuade the chiefs, people said no. The mother bodies of the churches said no. What does he do? He sits down in his community house, writes down a list. He goes out of the country and he leaves the people to say, announce whilst I'm away. That's what happened. He left, he was in the UK, and then the people announced that he's left a commission. They announce and he comes to swear them in. Then you ask, what kind of president do we have? Does he even think about us? No. This Bill 7 that he keeps talking about, wanting to have this Bill 7, this Bill 7, the question is, where were you the past 4 years? Why didn't you think of the Constitution when you started? Because you knew things were not okay. You've been in the longest opposition ever in the history of Zambia. Obviously, he could have had, the way he was writing that 10-point plan or whatever it was that Jito ticks, he could have written the Constitution as he's doing. They deferred this bill in Parliament to cover the Zambians, thinking Zambians will not know that these things are being done. Unfortunately, because he is not loyal, his people are tired, they are able to bring out the information, even things that are supposed to be hidden. Because people are tired. If people are tired, no matter how much you do things in secrecy, they come out. If you've seen in a few months now, how many things have come out, things that probably some of us are not even supposed to see. We've seen it all. We've seen it all. That shows there's something wrong somewhere. We'll start with the burial program that they had done for the late president. That was done in the secrecy of whatever confines of maybe Kasama House. That program came out. It leaked out. It caused the body not to be repatriated. That Ratsa conversation that happened, obviously that wasn't supposed to be heard. We heard it. That Chavinga reported AI audio that no one has even talked about now from his confines of his Kasama house. It came out. Here we are today. Himself, he reveals that he had a hand in the arrest of Ambassador Malanje. Every one of us probably could have just been insinuating. All of us have spoken of how our judicial system is being interfered with by the executive. But today we have proof. Not proof because Queen Pumi has said it. Not proof because Dasin has been insinuating it. Not proof because Chichi Girl thinks it is. But it is coming from the horse's mouth, our president. He comes how he's phoned his South African president counterparts. He phones Mnangagwa. I think even the presidents are ashamed to hear that. There are certain things that when you discuss at a certain caliber are not supposed to be brought out in public. But he brings it out. It is very sad. It is shameful to say, at the least. When you say certain things, if he's a typical spy, as he says it, to be a number one.
Never kiss and tell, Rampato. He's a kiss and tell.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
No, because there's no way.
It's a kiss and tell. How do you discuss things with other presidents? Then you come and start telling your country to say you did this.
Actually,
Exactly.
they call it is a snitch, you know?
No, he is. And I think no one.
I don't think he's snitching. I don't think snitch is the right word. Maybe I don't know. Shooting himself in a photo or something.
No wonder why. It just explains to you. So now we all know that he hasn't had a very good relationship with his Sadiq counterpart.
No wonder he has no friends. He's never kiss and tell. Yeah, I want.
Maybe this was the only time they tried him to say, let's prove ourselves. This is where you say, give someone enough rope to tie themselves. And then
Exactly. Why could he come in?
And then you say, look at him. We thought he couldn't do this.
Even in real life, but Dasin, you can't have friends. Eh?
No, you can't.
Uri no munove mwaiva chen tuchitefie mairwa chawe narina ba Dasin mairo in fact one.
Yes, and this is exactly, you know, look at that. As I was saying, I'm doubting if all those people who were in that whole auditorium are all leaders. Because let's send that in some of their branch, whatever. Imagine even someone from the street should know Ramaphosa has a hand.
Imagine. No, babala babikshama presidents muchive. The presidents are people will start.
And so now, this makes me think, even that issue about Judge Aliemo, what could have stopped?
Makalanda, you know, abe waka isokolola.
No, for me, I can already say it's.
Muka mfafia chenari muka baka na marali ya raisa. Bara mbokshi mikefa batu mine chabinga phone ndemie.
I'm not trying to cut you, but remember when Wetwa was saying we planted people, even like Shimbakambwili and everything. So Bala is so like when they're doing things in privacy, they come out now.
Temunguru no mboyo. Therefore tulanda timunguru. When we know I'm isn't that what we call munguru? What? Yeah, wafia.
So, like, it's very sad that he has to go to that level. The problem, he picks very petty issues and he wants to broadcast.
Our maturity tapaba, you know, one part. So it's like, how can you know maturity level in a paribe?
No, paribe, and now you've taught him nyanja. And now he will end up insulting, just as he insulted the chiefs in Luapula or Northern Province. And our chiefs, anyway, probably that's the only adage, probably, or that's the only thing that works. Because he went and used very bad words there in presence of the leaders there, the traditional leaders in Luapula Province. And he comes back in the name of his learning a language because he wants to sound like it. When you try so much to be who you are not, you end up making mistakes. For people that are listening and are able to have a preview to talk to the president, I know he doesn't listen, but at least do your part.
Balon for TikTok. Tabalala baikera for TikTok.
As in, he doesn't get anyone's advice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He won't get anyone's advice, but at least we could have done our part by telling him, can the president, can you do your work and reduce on your pettiness? Because right now, whatever you're doing, you're just messing up everything. There's no way a president will go up and say, when you vote for the mayors or council chairperson who when you come in as independent people or MPs who are independent in parliament, when I bring Nikareta Malamulo, then they will refuse.
Imagine.
When you listen to that, it tells you a story of who this person is.
Bakashikio munabo inendebe bandebe afya chulungu ngatali talamushikire fya mukamone fya bakalalanda balabao.
You know, it might come out like a joke, but I've looked at it. The reason why that man is not sleeping, he has to bury that body that he has kept.
There is an open grave there. When my father died, it's like a burden. It's like tukashikariradi. Namuchitefi, you know? Ngana mkwate chiro ila burden.
True. Very, very true.
It's a burden when you have an umuntu unga afa. Yes, you are mourning the loss. The next thing is the burden to bury that person, lay him to rest.
You see, it's, you know, in the history, I think for probably some of you that have been following politics, and some of us probably from time to time, news and all, I think we can see that when you have independent members of parliament in Parliament in Mweso, you find that half of the time they incline with the government of the day, and usually they do not incline with the opposition. Alas, with the UPND, all our independent members of parliament have remained intact. None of them has switched floors to go with them. That tells a story. That tells you there's nothing that is inspiring. And this is exactly what the president is scared of. The best he could have done was to work so that people are able to cross over, because there could be things that are attractive with himself, with his team, and with his works. Unfortunately, whatever comes out either from him, from the VP, from all these, the Cornelius Muitwa, everyone else, Balanda Fie. And to show that this is a well-calculated move, I was listening to this man called Matomola or something. A few days ago, he was issuing out a statement, or he was on an interview, where he actually said, when someone is not adopted, we are not allowing anyone to be an independent or to stand on an independent position. Those people will actually be out of the party, because we don't want anyone to be independent. A few days later, our president comes. He's speaking the same language.
Yeah, even this one also said that. This one I landed if you've been.
Exactly. So that tells you a story that they have an agenda. There's a small part of them that has an agenda to go back to the one-party system.
It's a part of the Bill 7. So there's a clause in Bill 7 where they've crafted it cleverly, where
to some of the things that it calls for someone to really look at.
Like they like if you want to stand as an independent, you need to resign from the party.
Yeah.
Like 3 months before the adoption date or something. Like something really tricky. So they are technically going to eliminate independents in their party.
So that already tells you that these people are dictators. These people are people that do not mean well for us. So I think it takes all of us to just put our voices up, put our energies in telling the people, let's tell the people at least the things that we know. Because there are other people who may just be following because they do not have time to listen to read. They do not have time to listen to what is true. They are easily being lured. But look at it. I think Nombakula playing a few clips to take an option to show Montu finish Amano equally or Takudi.
Do you remember the clip I posted to say his words are haunting him? Yeah?
I think those are some of the things because I think every one of us is able because certain things you explain, someone else will come and explain other things. So I think we need to continue telling people to say, this is what he has said. Do not even say, no, this was programmed by somebody. We pick his own words. So that we say, because for sure, it's very, very annoying. It's very, very annoying. People are coming and saying, no. I was saying, I think about Dustin, I was saying the other day, I was like, you're busy saying you're working. There are still rural health centers which do not have what you would call essential medication in this country. There are still rural health centers where you feel a stroke because it's even just a blood pressure machine. But someone is busy, at HH. I know you cannot help the whole country, but if you are failing to even accept that you've not reached all corners, you are saying you've done it. That's where the problem is because the UPND are saying they've done it. Whilst there are a lot of things that we are complaining, and he comes and says,
no, this man, I swear, I think moving forward, we should just focus on Bill 7. Because Bill 7 in Gayapita, everything else won't matter. And he's doing all these things, saying contentious things so that didn't know. The bottom line right now is the Bill 7 and that technical committee, Emma P1. Because in Gayapita Bill 7 area, it won't matter. Nishwaikata Zambia, he will have Zambia in his hands. That's why in a panole kuma defense forces kuria, those men and women in uniform should be able to protect the constitution. Because Judge Adiyamo kuma court kwena, we have already lost the battle kuma court. Vaishtakale sweet secret, whatever.
You know, since the technical teams, when we talk about the technical team and they were claiming, oh, now we're from various sectors.
So what I'm...
But we know they were strategically chosen.
No, but my point I'm trying to say is, we must tell these people that what they are doing is wrong.
Exactly.
They are being used to do a criminal activity.
The wrong thing.
Yes.
Yes. Some probably even as we meet, since I learned that maybe from the church,
that is not the bottom line. The bottom line is not how, but what they are doing.
My dear sister, those most of them, when you go through that list, most of them are adults.
Yes, you know, how do we do this? It's by in whatever communities we are finding ourselves. We speak out so that a voice can actually become louder to say we do not want this.
No, how we do it is we tell these people on the committee, because they don't, maybe they know, but we have to tell them what you're committing is a crime. We have to speak to their conscience.
I know one person who is in the group, in one of those groups. I know one person. Typical Kada. All he does is defend the nonsense of
what will help us is speaking to the conscience of those people in the technical committee and tell them not to be used.
For me, what I look at it, Bill 7.
But how can they have a contract when they are already aligned? It's like me, I'm aligned to you. No matter how much you tell me to say, don't go and do it.
But me, I'm not in a position of power, my dear. I'm not a president. I didn't swear in to uphold the constitution. Those people, the constitution. We are just bloggers. So those people now, they shibati, ikata kuli lawyer Zambia, and they could be prosecuted.
So the problem we have today, and I've always said it, the African problem always looks at one person's, what am I going to gain?
And if often about Daskin, I think this is the thing we should be driving to expose these people, and Bafiroko Ishibati, the law will follow them, because maybe them they think the HH will protect them. Because the same HH Kuryoko Arialela that if you commit a crime you're on your own. Aleba Samba Mumamona. Aleba Vika to do dirty work, but again, Aleba Samba.
And this is what I was coming to. You see, the thing is, no matter what, HH presidency will come to an end. When you pay, what do people remember you for? Are they going to remember you for doing the right thing or something that was not right for the Zambian? Like I would say, for me, I don't even understand how you can be pushing for something which people don't even agree to it. Why would you be spending so much? Even that committee, they're using our taxpayers' money to pay those people. Who's benefiting? So for me, the problem we have as a nation is poverty takes away the mindset of brilliant ideas. Because for me, even those committees, they would say, for now, we will wait until 2026 because we don't have hope. Can we wait until the Zambians vote for a new lead and then we can now start looking for these things? But we lose our foresight. This Bill 7, yesterday I was with my sister on the following our praise. Most Zambians don't want it. They are saying no to it. So are you going to force Zambians on something they have said no to? The church have said no to it. The law of secession of Zambia said no to it. The Zambian people have said no to it. So what do you want? And to be honest with you, Ping Pong, it's just, even if he pushes this thing, power belongs to us, the people.
Our last hope is in the men in uniform. This is our last hope. For them to stand with the people of Zambia and refuse our constitution to be manipulated. This technical committee, they are actually irrelevant because what they are trying to change is the core value of our ideology as a country. It should go to a referendum. The president should have started working to call a referendum to approve some of these things in Bill 7. So that technical committee is illegal. This is what we need to talk about, and everyone need to talk about, and tell these people in that technical committee that you are an illegal committee because you're trying to change the core value of our ideology as a country. The Bill of Rights, to change anything in the Bill of Rights, you need to go to a referendum. So it is wrong and it is criminal for these people in that technical committee to start accepting to go on a criminal mission. We are supposed to tell you, because these people, the president is the chief prosecutor. So abantu that's why Muzambia bali shiba president, eba chief prosecutor, eba DPP, eba ACC. That's why people are all quiet in Zambia, because he confessed himself. People know that the president is the DPP, he's the ACC, he's the DEC. So people are scared. People are scared to talk because once the president mentions your name, the DEC will follow you. Zambia police will follow you. We are in a dictatorship already. So if this Bill 7 passes, it will be a death stamp. He is the Chief Justice. Yes, he is everything. He is a chief spokesman. He's the cabinet. Shani yenchito ya bakwata ba nani kani. Ba Patrick Kangwa. He is everything.
That's why it's failed, because you can't be a jack of all trades, and you know you can't just be everywhere.
Not child running a country like your farm.
No, you can't. Even perform up in a quite about you tell people at Wakulamana when Kokonga and Quatenko, Wakulamo, no Monenko, Tetari, Makunko, Kumba, Ayakumunani, Ayakshan. You'll find that there will be one task that will be neglected, if not all. Because you can't just do that. Unfortunately, this is how our president now is operating. So it's up to us, I think, to continue speaking against all these evil things that are happening if we want to have a better Zambia. Because most of the times, I think as Zambians, I think we have we have no foresight. When I say we, I mean, even now in a technical committee, they're just thinking of the now, because you think, oh, I'm the privileged few, and make allowances, but you forget the after effects of these things that you're going to sign. So everyone who is listening to this, go and tell these people, if you know them, that you cannot. Even in wherever we are, let's continue telling people so that whoever until message hear these echoes.
Mukesaka kwa kuba yafiachi also li mu technical committee mulia muishibire.
In fact, we have to know the names of those people very well and we'll keep them. When the time comes, we'll ask them to refund back the money, because that is the proceed of crime, because we are saying this is an illegal...
It's an illegal operation.
Yes, so they have to refund the money because whatever it is, it's proceed of crime.
At least your point in is saving. I'm going to put the list in a page and I'm going to save those people in that technical committee. I'm Bill 7 Nidia. You are on an illegal mission. Musambe mofyeni mwamulina bamwenya bakaere bali babikamu.
Well, Pim and everyone, let me just conclude by saying this. I love what we are saying, and I think this is a step that every Zambian should take. Country, yes, Zambia, we might be away from home, but we are still Zambians. And the reason why we do this is because we love Zambia, and we want the best for Zambia. When we see other places, they are flourishing in development, as we are still fighting over petty things because a leader is selfish. He wants to hold on to power. Even if you want to hold on to power, the thing is, what have you done for the Zambian people? You see, like, let's not just like, and I like this, we need to ask the people and the committee, say, what are you doing? What legacy are you going to leave for you to just be on a committee and then people remember you for something that you did without following the majority of Zambia? And
go to jail, ni crime, noka, my crimes, yeah. Panto Echechakaba in power with no limit. So which means you will be in power until he dies. Kwangalo, if you have to wale kalabake karashani echechinga kara mu power, paka kakote.
Anyway, I appreciate your time. My pastor is good getting in touch again. Let's continue doing this. Chichi girl, thank you. God bless you all. I appreciate you guys. Pimpumu, don't stop. You're the voice for Zambia. I love the way you contribute, very mature. Even Chichi girl, look, we can have our own differences, but I like the maturity in us. This is the way forward. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you, Adaskin. Yes, you know, we are here for politics. We are not here to talk about personalities, because when you start discussing personalities, everyone is different. But our main job is to talk about politics and how we can save Zambia. So thank you, Adaskin. But Chichi girl, you can go ahead. Nangumuli busy. Nai Cabalero, Abadu, we are going to light a fire, Padiwache.
Most of the things, I light and all that. And for me, the issue I think there's one issue which I really wanted to emphasize, but I think in person touched on it as well. It's that issue of telling the moment might teach that very well, but maybe let me also just say which one or two words on it. Issue of correct, yes,
I am unapologetic.
MPs, when I can't work alone, so I will need this like it's a suit. You're saying you're using words like it's a suit, you know. They've told me to say my ministers, my councillors are going to lose, but then how am I going to work? Mugalis on the sir, the way you answered, you are telling us to say, so they are failing to tell him to say, sir, even you,
Well, one one about chichi, but I try to learn that Chiramonto is different. If I'm Mondolo, you know.
Madam Jeshinga, I never got in Squattaman. So many people Capona in Encapita. That's why he is fighting hard that I was sending Bill 7. Because, yes, that's a question, very good question. Where has he been all this while? For the past 4 years, he never bothered about the Bill 7. But you know, I've said it and I'll keep on saying it. There's a leaked document about the strategy of UPND winning the 2026. After they did an evaluation, they had an independent company. I think not even Zambian, but outside the country.
Tewaku Kenya uliana mayo valeta advisor wao.
I don't know, but it's a document, and that document said a lot of things, and everything that they're advocating for is in that document. And they told them to say, as long as you don't do Bill 7, that's why he knows that he's not going to make it. And the only way he can do it is manipulate the constitution. Because with the manipulation of the constitution, then these things we're talking about, if you want to judiciary, the only things that we own right now is the constitution. So Bill 7 inga baichita wanyawanya finibale for which that is the reason. I know because I was asking that where has he been all these 4 years? Now I'm telling you, my sister, there's a document. I don't know whether you've seen that document or not. It's saying it's a must. They have to do Bill 7. Okay? They have to do Bill 7. But then, why should we as Gambians allow them? This is why we have to make sure that if we don't allow it, it has to fall. So that even, okay, it now means that you know that you are going to make it as the president. Why can't you wait? Just 10 months. Why can't you wait to say it's okay? You know what? Leave this thing. When I win the elections, that will be my first assignment, so that we clear this document for the betterment of every Zambian, not for your own benefit, Mr. HH. Okay, that is the thing. And then, madam, there is this issue of voter registration which kicked off today. Okay, this thing, I saw one person, a very renowned council, writing and saying, this thing has started me in Lusaka, I don't know. What more about the people
in the villages? Yes, muma rural areas. Abantu tabeshibe. But kumushikumwabo kale bayamba mu 2022 kuchita register ma voters.
And where are the MPs who are supposed to be speaking and publicizing that thing? They're in Lusaka doing what? Fighting for the $600,000, 600,000 kwacha. So that you're okay. But Mr. President, that must be misused. Don't give these MPs that kind of money. They will just misuse it.
No, MP ya mama yanikata mulomo ya kusaina Bill 7. Ero nga basaina ke Bill 7 bakabapera tengani 1 month or 2 months abakayimone podibidi. This is just me, my opinion.
It's not even your opinion, madam. That is the truth. That is the truth. Tamuleta chesi ya kwa bati tamuishiro somuleta. Muleta chesi omuishiro kwa bati sintu trenda so. Even you are using your critical mind, and them they are not using their critical mind. And if you can have to say, I can't come and have MPs who will say this and that and that. Mr. President, that's why you have all your MPs. They don't talk. They can't say, no, Mr. President, this is not good for the people. Everything, yes, boss, yes, boss. That's why you are the advisor of even your advisors.
Of himself. He's the advisor of himself. Water.
And we've told you, like Impastor said, to say, we, the people who talk, despite you telling us to say, and you don't even care about us, are the people who love you, because we tell you the truth. We tell you to say, sir, this is not good. Sir, this is not, and this is because we love you. If we didn't love you, at Mushewa, I the number go. Because you are scared to tell umuntu that's for your principle that we have to tell you, Mr. President, because we love you, we want you to deliver well, which you have failed, because you don't want to listen to what we say. We've said it, and on a number of issues we've said it, and on this one we're advising you, this Bill 7, you even gain a bit of mileage. Maybe the President of Zambians where they thought I would have over president. Well, I'm not going to for Amira Konombaka secret. In Kutima 2026, but in Gamoani, arrogance is higher, quiver to Pakasi, and I'm losing a popularity background. It is causing you, my president, it's causing you to even lose popularity. Let me about my secret. Don't even remember the last time I had Gary Nkombo.
Very mutamfia Gary Nkombo Chiarande.
No, he's an MP.
Yeah, but you know they took him out as a minister.
You can go to police to say people have said I'm going to see. Okay, that made me laugh. People are going to the police. You're going to report because people want you to stand as the president. I'm going to report.
Imagine. And the police can arrest him. Come if you violate by church, violate criminality, violate legalize criminality. Napashi you mulandu kukupangiri mulandu ngatabade fire.
So for us, we've told you, Mr. President, we love you, and because we love you, we are saying stop this Bill 7, leave it. Since you are very much assured you mukapita, give it time until you can continue in Ngamapita. With now proper, with the whole procedure, everything.
Referendum, if you want for change.
The way
yeah.
the constitution should be amended. And you want to tell us stories. Hey, this is not a constitution, whatever. It's just, you want to start using jargon. No. Don't run away from the reality of what you are doing. We know what is being done here. That's why we're saying no.
But President, you know, but Chichi, I think it is a waste of time to address the president. We must address to the people who are being used to do his dirty work. Because the president he will never listen to anyone. That's why we're in this mess. So I think
no, he doesn't.
We just have to talk to the people whom he has.
Remember, you were the one who even gave me an insight when you did an analysis of who is who on there. Okay? When you look at those people in detail, trust me, it's like Moses discovered the daughter of the Jesus throughout. The daughter of the Jesus will be very much. They will not say anything to whatever madam you've said. They will just go ahead. So, for me, the issue is, yes, we can tell them to, but they will not, because the master has told them to do that.
But you know, at least they know. You know, when they go to jail, they will remember.
We have to address the master, madam. We have to address the
Navena. Because master that you are on your own. So Navena, if you are being used, ufile waishi but if you are mbomfia, elon kesarida away one day. A church ta kabate protect. Because if you bale folk change, we need a referendum. You can't use a technical committee to change the Bill of Rights. And that technical committee was appointed by night. By whom we don't know.
Yeah. So really, for me, it's a very sorry sight of the whole thing and this. Anyway, let's see how far we go, but we'll continue hammering this, madam. You know, every day, you and me, every day we'll hammer this issue, so that
every day twakulalisha nyimbo sha masoja.
You and me, history, or is it what do they call?
Issue.
Posterity to judge us.
We shall be remembered for fighting for against Bill 7. Ero ikapita Bill 7 inenka ngayapta Bill 7 missionary kana ma politics. Pano mwikanje wapo ati madam kutulandira. The least you can do mule chita share if you're nderanda. Bill 7 ngayapita inenkale ko kulanda because ni shinomba ba HH na ba 7 nshira. Vaisevere nshira to Museveni yebakaba president forever until Jesus akabete. Nenkonto bakalainda nenkonto. But how can we Zambians sit? Yeah, term limit tapakabe. Ikaba kwachi Museveni firiafine. Museveni no bukote bwako yali papa ballot na inoye. Na bayabambia baku 90 but banani ba Sierra Leone. The 93-year-old man, Cameroon?
Cameroon, yes.
No, God forbid.
Anyway, before I disappear.
Now, if I like that disappear, you know, we shall go and come back tomorrow and hammer on them harder.
Yeah, because you know, I have another committee. When you look at their ages, obviously there are very few who may be older than the president.
Mitundu, have you looked at Mitundu?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it on the tenure of presidency. So, are they okay to be ruled by one person who's made the majority of Zambians suffer? These are some of the questions I think they need to be asking themselves.
Exactly.
Are they okay that even their family members are having these effects?
Exactly.
I think maybe once they look at these things, probably, if they are not already indoctrinated, because as we've noticed already, if people are indoctrinated in this UPND agenda, it's very difficult. Like today, you find that other people cannot see even the insults of other people, but they will see only the insults of other people. Why? Because they are indoctrinated in a certain agenda. I only hope this committee has not gone, because so we don't know what other things happen behind the closet and behind the walls where they have these ceremonies from. So let's hope that Tabali Mugamwine, such that they'll be able to say, are these things I'm signing for good for my family members? Are these things good for my community? And are these things good for my country? When you look at the Maiza Chona declaration and whatever, yes, it could have been, some of us probably were not even there, some of us probably were covered, but you still learned about them and you could still mention some of the positive things in them. But if we say the constitutional amendments of 2025, is it something that people will be proud to mention I was part of that? Or it will be something that you'll be hiding yourselves? When people talk about it, you don't even want to be aligned with it. These are some of the things I think that these people who've been appointed should look at and say, will my name be used? And will people be proud, or my child be proud to say my father was part of that? Or my child will be hiding to say, maybe with those things, maybe people maybe they can just say no to this Bill 7. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go, I wanted to talk a little bit about Mondolo. We saw Mondolo yesterday on Emmanuel Mwamba Verified Live, and we were waiting for him. We have heard a lot about Mondolo, and I just wanted to say a little bit about him before we end the live. Yeah, But we'll be here every day. Twakulala ndeli nedia issue ya Bill 7 because Bill 7 does not belong anywhere in a democratic country. And for us to go into a one-party state, what is Bill 7 is asking indirectly, is demanding for us to accept Bill 7 is wrong, because even the method they have brought Bill 7 is wrong. We should go to a referendum. The president, actually, like I said earlier, if you under mairo yo inekutina ya parliament neka bonse wakapona. So that's why balefa Bill 7 ipite, so that you have his 100 MPs, you have his constituencies, 55 constituencies. He will have an unlimited term of office. He will have his judges whom he has hired secretly to sit in the court, and they will be determining cases. They won't be hearing cases. So it's all set up to be a dictatorship country if this Bill 7 passes, and we should all speak against it and speak to the conscience of these people in the technical committee and know them that let them resign from this committee, because they will go down with their church. It is wrong. That committee is wrong. Even the time, you cannot change the constitution in the 11th hour when the elections are on the horizon. This is rigging. Changing the rules of the game on the 11th hour is tantamount to rigging. But switching gears, Mondolo, we saw Mondolo. For me, he lost me. He was a little bit jittery when he started talking, but eventually, I tried to follow him. He's a highly educated, well accomplished young man. I tried to follow him, and there's one thing which he said which really put me at the fence, like a few red flags which are not fit to be a leader of a country. Like when you are a money lender or a Shylock, I think that is a red flag to have a person from that background to come and lead the country. Akbala kongwesha kalova enchito yabo nima mandi lender, his brokers deals. So that is the big red flag for me. When I just heard that he's a money broker, he brokers deals, and he said he tried to help in the debt restructuring, he wasn't allowed. Okay, and then again, I don't know. Then the other thing which really put me on my toes about Mondolo is him saying that he has found a company. That can buy the copper from Zambia at a higher price. So I sat and I was thinking, I'm like, okay, like most African countries, they are talking about repossessing their mines or getting at least 51% from these mining companies. But Mondolo is talking about, selling our copper on the black market. So with that, for me, I think maybe, I don't think it's right for us to promote somebody with such an agenda to start selling our copper on a black market or to a private company, instead of us trying to repossess the mine, taking control, or even demand a higher percentage. So that's my take on Mondolo. But we'll see. Emmanuel said he will have him back and interview him some more. So we'll see what he says. But for me, those things are a major concern, because I think that those are the core things for me to look at every presidential candidate. I'm really interested in what their take is on our mines, because this is the problem that we are having now. We are not collecting any taxes. you know, and you know, the country is in a problem because we are simply not collecting any money from our taxes. And then also the career of the president is also another thing. We you know, we are dealing with a president who is a businessman right now, and Mondolo was giving the same vibes as by HH. I'm a businessman, I'm going to do this, but then we have been betrayed by HH, who came with all these promises. So would Zambia do the right thing to throw their weight or support Mondolo, who has a similar background with HH? So that's my take on that. But Brother Manmoisen. I'm quite Rihanna Mukwisala, Matsanga Fekumuchila, but Chichi girl, you wanna say anything? Yeah.
Yes, madam, for me, what put me off in that discussion